majority of the youth of this country now a victim of job scam and dating scam.
Lavish parties or lavish clubbing or lavish restaurant ki some girl or some boy have called me, you go and then you get frost. There are different mechanisms of all these scams. Yes. So the important thing which you can do is
Mr. Jatin Jain, who is an IPS officer and dealt with many of the cybercrime related issues. In India, according to the 2024 report, more than 23,000 crores of rupees have been lost from Indian citizens' pocket.
Any application, APK file, or through video calls, or through Telegram calls, Instagram calls, any way of medium the fraudster has contacted them, they should tell us.
Once the complaint is lodged, what is the initial 30 minutes like? Because the public is expecting the police to know everything.
See, the first 30 minutes is not about action, it's about because time is a crucial element in cyber fraud. Yeah, through movies and everything, it is like interrogation is synonymous to third degree torture. But the hardcore criminals, how much hard you beat him or torture him, they will not break.
So welcome to the Honest Hour, Jatin ji.
Thank you.
So let's start with the real moment. A cyber complaint comes in where a family has lost 5 lakh rupees due to cyber fraud. Once the complaint is lodged, what is the initial 30 minutes like? Because the public is expecting the police to know everything, right? So they want instant justice. So how does the first 30 minutes or the initial 30 minutes from a police viewpoint, what happens? If you could explain it to the viewers.
See, the first 30 minutes is not about action. It's about control. Control of information, your emotions, legality of the aspect. And the most important thing is you have to plan and strategize. Ki what is your priority? Suppose a complaint come. First, as you say, road accident is a golden hour. In digital crimes or cyber crimes, there is also a concept of golden time period. Because time is a crucial element in cyber frauds.
Yeah.
The earlier you come to the police or you complain, the higher chances or higher probability is you will get reassurance from the police. So the main aspect is what is the crime, how it happened, and the main thing is who are the victims, what you can offer to the victim at that moment, because they need to be in control, because you can gather evidence from them only. They need to share, so they should feel a comfort zone. They should feel yes, police is for our help. So that communication should be built, that rapport should be built, and the comfort zone should be developed by the police for the victim so that the victim can share openly as much information as possible. Because there are various types of frauds happening in digital crime, OTP frauds, financial frauds, but extortion is also there and different elements also there, which people are very close to share about. They don't even they feel ashamed how it happened to me.
Yeah. Even I've noticed like shame is one of the major reasons.
Yeah.
You know, many prominent people recently also we come across in the news, they've been subjected to cyber fraud, but they feel hesitancy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they might feel like people might think I am careless, or many bureaucrats, doctors also, or retired bureaucrats are also undergoing this, challenge of facing this cyber security threats. And also they're victims of the same, but they don't come out in the open. And I've also read that because of this, the chain is not going to stop. You're actually letting the, cyber criminals perpetuate.
As you quoted the data, ki so much cybercrime is happening, that is very, very underreported data. Because most of the cyber crimes which happen, people don't even report.
Yes.
They don't come out ki how it happened to me.
Rightly said.
So that factor should come out of the citizens and the people, and it's the duty of us, the police, to make that comfort zone, to break that barrier so that people reach out to you. People have that confidence in police, ki yes, it is not my wrong, I should come to the police, they will help me. So that is how the first 30 minutes are around, like ki people come, they complain, you analyze the situation, complaints, ask for as much as information from the victims as much possible. Because one thing is sure, in digital crime, cyber crime, everything, digital footprint is one thing which can never be erased. Even if you delete a chat, even if you delete something, you think it is gone. But in the server, in the digital age, somewhere your data, once anything is put on social media or any digital platform, it has created a digital footprint which is at the present very minimum chances that it could be fully erased. It can be recovered. Yeah, it may take extra time and effort. That is a different aspect, but it can be recovered. Even your deleted WhatsApp messages can be recovered. So it's a different game. So you should realize you should come as early as possible to the police and disclose as much information, true information with the police so that they can assist you. Because without evidence, even if I know you are the culprit, if I don't have evidence, I cannot arrest you, I cannot make you suffer for the crime. So that evidence part is very important in policing, which people miss. People just think they want justice, police should arrest, police should react immediately. But that is not how the police and a judicial system works.
True.
We work on evidence, not on emotions.
Even like, let's say you go for instant justice. When you go to the judiciary, they might not accept it as a valid evidence. If the evidence is not strong enough, it will not stand the test of the court. Right.
Ultimately, the reality is what people think and the social perception is police ne arrest kar liya criminal ko, it's the end of everything. Ki the murderer or the rapist should get arrested. If he is got caught, arrested, it's done and dusted.
Yeah.
But that is just 5% of the work.
Exactly.
The major part is to get him or her convicted in the court of law.
True.
And in India, sadly, conviction rate is very low.
Very dismal actually.
And the reasons are the documentation part, the overload on the police, it's getting affected and get reflected in the poor work done in the documentation part. So that is the one major area which police needs to work. And the part of instant justice is opposite to it. You just show to the public society you have arrested the criminal, but if you're not getting him or her convicted, that arrest or that process is of no use and no justice is delivered to the victim.
So, and many times even innocents are arrested.
Yeah. Because
Falsely
so
framed
much
also.
under trials are there and there are due to lack of evidences, the court acquits him. So all those issues are there. That's why evidence is important. Our principle, judicial principle works on it ना कि किसी बेगुनाह को सजा नहीं मिलना चाहिए भले कोई 100 गुनाह वाले छूट जाए.
सही बात.
So no innocent person should be framed of law.
True.
Injustice should not be served to any innocent person, even though hundreds of criminals may be. So that ideology is our principle. That's why we work on evidence. We need evidence. We need proper documentation should be there so that we can follow that chain of custody and arrest and reach to the kingpin of that issue. Because one major issue in cybercrime is also there. When police reach, they're reaching the level 1, level 2 criminals. But it is a very layered way of cybercrime.
Exactly.
The kingpin is behind the 5th or 6th layer of a chain.
True.
So it takes time and energy to reach to that kingpin. Unless that chain is carried and that kingpin is arrested and busted, all this network will keep growing. So that's how the main focus should be the nucleus of the cybercrime. And police are really doing good work, gradually involving and growing technologically advancement so that we can penetrate to that layers and arrest the basic criminals who are doing these crimes.
So public and common citizens should also understand that it is not the pace, it is a procedure which has to be followed so that we get to the end or the knack of the issue. So what are the most common mistakes that you see that the public makes when it comes to filing the complaint? After filing the complaint, what are the most common mistakes which actually defeat the case, defeat the catching of the criminal? What do they do?
The one thing is, as we discussed about the shame component. So, when a cyber fraud has happened to an individual, they feel ashamed how it happened to me. They delete those numbers, they delete those content or the objectionable content that they must have been receiving. They delete the chats. Okay, they are hampering the case because the crucial time is lost. Time and energy of the police would be to regain those content. So rather than erasing it, deleting it, they should not feel ashamed. They should be open and transparent to the investigating officer so that as much information is shared to the police can act, diversify.
In this scenario, sir, like in most of the cyber fraud cases, sometimes the victim is already jittery and panicked. They'll delete the chats or they've also transferred some money, right? So in these cases, how do you trace anything? Is it possible to trace in the first place?
Yeah, everything is possible to trace.
So
as I
sometimes
said.
things are lost. They
Yeah.
must have destroyed some hard disks, destroyed the emailers or chats, etc. So
As I said, digital footprint is one thing. Once created, it lies somewhere or the other. They must have deleted
Digital
from
ID
their
उधर create हो
phones,
जाता
from
होगा.
the hard disk, but somewhere some server would be there holding it. Somewhere the data would be there, backups would be there. But police can reach out to each and every data, but it needs time, it needs authenticity. We need to take a lot of procedural permissions to carry all those aspects. So yeah, major time gets lost if you panic and act those things, delete things, try to erase those things, try to hide facts from the police ki this thing happened from my friend.
many times they hide it.
Yeah, they don't want to openly come out.
Yes.
So those things people should understand. Police is for them only. We are working for them only to provide them justice. You help the police, you give the evidence, you give the information. The better equipped the police would be, the investigating officer would be to provide you justice.
But there's also a issue, concern. Like, having said that, what about the privacy of the citizens? Right. Here at one end, we are seeing the government or the police who are vested with the responsibility for public security. And here comes another dimension of fundamental right to privacy, and also to what extent can I share information with the public authorities, and to what extent the public authorities can get evidence that could also include personal documents, personal information, or in more or less terms say it also hampers my privacy. And you as a cop or a police, how do you strike this balance?
Yeah,
And what should be the approach?
Yeah, it is a big dilemma between privacy versus surveillance. So our take is privacy is in rule and surveillance is an exception. Okay, your right to
Could you
privacy.
please repeat that? That was quite
Yeah. So
impressive.
my take is privacy is a rule and surveillance is an exception.
Oh,
Means
amazing.
you cannot.
I think that sums up a lot of issues actually. Yeah, please go ahead.
So you cannot put surveillance on everything, and you cannot claim your right to privacy on each and everything. It is not a dark zone or dark area. So police and every investigating authority or a state or a government of India, for a fact of matter, have to strike a balance between privacy and surveillance. So your data, your private data, your information is kept secret, but as and when the needs arise, as and when the situation comes, the police can get you. Police can get your data, can get your information. For example, call tapering, hacking. There is called white collar hacking, white hacking.
Acha.
White hacking is a concept
that?
where the hackers are employed by the government for positive impact of hacking.
Okay.
For
something that
example,
you call
when
as ethical hacking.
ethical hacking. Yeah, it's kind of ethical hacking. So that is also there. So it is how your intentions are that differentiates you, that differentiates the working style. So it is important. So privacy आपकी protected है, but police can surveillance on the criminals because everything is not a shield. Privacy can't be a shield for a criminal to hire injustice to the people of India or to the people, any citizens.
True.
So yeah, that's how that's how our constitution gives power to the police to protect the rights of the people of India, protect the rights of the citizens. So that's how we strike a balance between privacy and surveillance. We have all the powers, but how to utilize it and how to execute it becomes important. And there are different checks and balances because the intentions of each and every individual is different. Some may use those powers to harass an individual also. So there are systematic checks and balances in approach how you can gather permissions or procedural compliance is there to gather the informations and everything.
And taking a cue from that, cybersecurity, etc. Now, one big myth is there in India that interrogation is investigation and investigation is third degree. This is what happens in India. This is what you see in the news or or in the movies. Once the police catches hold of you, you'll be subjected to third degree. But I'm sure, like, based on your understanding and experience and what you've been trained in the academy, not every time this happens. So what is the difference between a lawful interrogation and forceful third degree, what they quote it as? It is not actually which is mentioned in the technical rule book. But what is this third degree and lawful interrogation? What is the difference between the same?
See, the first thing is the main difference. We start with difference between interview and interrogation. People should understand, when we catch hold of somebody, there are two aspects to it. First, you interview him, and other, you interrogate him or her. So by interview, we mean to gather information. What, how, where, you just gather information. But by interrogation, what we mean is you interrogate a person who is a suspect. You have some evidences or chain of instances that link you of the case. He is the suspect of the case. He might be involved in the crime, in the offense, one way or the other. So you interrogate him, you ask questions and try to bring out the inconsistencies. This is not the case in the interview. So interrogation, the main part is to bring out the inconsistencies and gather out and figure out if your suspicion that he is the suspect is right or wrong, or what new information or facts you can take out from him or her by interrogation.
Yeah.
And yeah, through movies and everything, it is like interrogation is synonymous to third degree torture. But in reality, it is not the case. Previously, there have been the cases like that. But the hardcore criminals, how much hard you beat him or torture him, they will not break. But what breaks is psychological impact and emotional impact. Police officer or investigating officer should be equipped enough. They should have the skill and talent to gather the background information of the person who have arrested. Homework is very important. Because if you analyze the person, if you analyze his information, you gather facts about his past history, his past incidences, his strengths and weaknesses, what are his habits, because everyone is on social media, everyone is available on digital, and we have so much of information that you can gather out information about a person, any information we want. So using that information, using psychological analysis and emotionally, you can make the criminal or make the accused into your own bottle, so that you can take out the information, you can take out the evidences you want to hear, the information, the chain of custody you want to build up. So that works far better than the physical torture. And through various Supreme Court guidelines and judgments, each and every police station has CCTV cameras. So day by day, through technological advancement, transparency is also increasing. The faith and the trust of the people are also increasing. And there are very strict actions are being taken against the police officials or the officers who resort to such tortures and such mechanisms of interrogation. But they are not highly rewarding and they are not true enough, because through physical torture you get coercive evidences or coercive confessions. But
so that forceful confessions actually might not test the judiciary,
true.
Might not stand the test of judiciary also.
As we discussed earlier, conviction should be a prime motive.
Exactly.
So that forceful coercive confession would not meet the purpose of you, because due to fear of torture or fear of anything, the person falsely commits or confesses the crime, the actual perpetrator will be roaming free.
Exactly.
And you will not be able to prove it in the court of law. That person after trials will get acquittal. So you will defeat all your energy and your purpose. So your right approach and strategy should be to reach to the core of the crime that has happened. So physical torture is not advisable.
So you mean ethical investigation can also be effective investigation?
Yeah. You should be smart enough to tackle the situations.
But there could be a scenario where the public are demanding instant confession on social media. Now they presume that this person is the, accused, and he is the actual culprit who has perpetrated a particular crime. So in this scenario, what is the approach of the police? Now there's large scale public pressure. What you would need to do it? That, they are also forcing confession.
See, in the recent age of social media and so much of digital availability,
so they also put slogans, he must have done it, so make him admit it. Or they also say somebody is protecting him.
So the main thing is our judicial system and police don't work on Instagram policing and Twitter policing. We need to work upon evidences.
Yes.
Okay, and rumors or false information, misinformation, or it is very easy to spread any information in this age of digital media, social media. So our work is pretty sure we work on evidences, not on emotions and not on social media and the social perception of the society.
Yes.
We need concrete evidences, concrete proof to arrest somebody. Because our constitution provides fundamental right and right to liberty to each and every citizen. You cannot just arrest somebody, pick up anybody because the society or the people of India wants to. Because today they may come for you or come for me. The police should arrest Jatin Jain. He has committed a crime. So if police starts to
Get swayed by
swayed by the public emotions, their emotions carry a value. The police respects it, and police ethically works upon it, gather evidences, information, and police do a lot of background work which people don't know.
Exactly.
So they don't realize it. Ultimately, when there are enough evidences and there are enough proofs for that the person has committed a crime, nobody can be escaped from the custody of the police. Nobody can be escaped from the eyes of the police. So police gets hold somebody, if not today, tomorrow. Delay might be there due to several reasons, but the culprit would be arrested. So the people should understand, and it is the duty of us police officers also to pacify the emotions of the public, to understand and pacify them, so that the emotional aspect should not overtake law, evidence, and the procedural aspect should continue that, because that is how the legal justice system in India works.
So citizens should realize that rather than getting carried away by sensationalism, trial by media, let the police do their work diligently. If they're not allowed to do that, probably they can get some evidence which will not stand in the court.
Yeah.
With instant justice, sometimes some hodgepodge investigation can happen.
True.
And ultimately, they're scot free.
And there is a lot of misinformation spreading. So citizens should be aware. If they want to really assist and help, they should provide genuine evidence and give it to the police.
Exactly.
It will assist in the investigation. But now the trend is in our old ages, ancient times, there should be the kha panchayats are there. Panchayat ne faisla suna diya, faisla ho gaya. So society is becoming like digital khaps. They are giving justice on Twitter, Instagram, Reels. He should be convicted. He is the culprit. Isne ye kiya. So digital khaps are developing and evolving in the society.
True.
So we need to get control over those aspects. Ultimately, it's evidence. The truth will prevail. So you need to work to catch the truth and the main culprit rather than just building the narrative. So our police work is like, don't be carried away or swayed away by the narrative. Follow the procedures, follow the law, and make the culprit suffer for it.
So as you rightly said, like this is a phenomena that we are experiencing of late, the digital khaps. So this is a term that people should actually get acquainted with. Khap panchayats now have taken a new form through Instagram, Meta, etc., X, etc., where instant justice is sought after. And also we see like many a times, people are also filming. If there's a crime incident or there is some kind of social disturbing situation, people are taking videographs, or influencers or content creators also are sometimes taking images and videos which might actually derail the investigation process. This is also a major challenge maybe. Sometimes it also makes the kingpin of the crime get alerted, or they might get scot-free after that.
The people start recording anything. Actually, nobody comes to the help at the venue. And even if they come, they record and they are tempering the evidences.
Exactly.
They are destroying the evidences which should be, because when a scene
alerting the culprits.
When a scene of crime happens, people come in, spot in, video cameras and recording. But there should be a social responsibility of each and every citizen, and especially the content creators, to be aware of the citizen, to let the police do their work, don't contaminate the evidences, because ultimately it is helping the culprits. So the police should be informed as soon as possible. Until the police reaches and sanitizes the area, scene of crime, something has happened, people should stay away, because they don't know by what actions they are destroying the evidences. Because even footprints, even the shoe size or your footprint of your footwear can lead to the catch of the criminal. You don't know how or what evidence which will ultimately help the police. You should not contaminate and destroy. You should help and assist the police rather than just creating, capturing videos and photos and doing Facebook, Instagram lives and posting on social media. They should behave in a socially ethical manner, responsible manner. to help and assist the police.
Rightly said. So this there's something called as forensics and digital evidence of late. Now this is the mostly widely accepted evidence. So what role does digital and forensic evidence play compared to the verbal confession? Because like in my childhood also I've seen like there's this TV show called CID, right? You must have also seen that. Sony TV mein aata tha. So there like we see that if a person has confessed over now, they verbally confess that I have committed this crime. Yes, a criminal ban gaya. That's where the episode ends. So what is your suggestion or what is your understanding of this?
See, ultimately in a court of law, physical, verbal confessions and even any confession to the police is not viable in the court of law. Court doesn't accept the confession given to the police. So digital and forensic evidences are a scientific evidences which provides and help you to get certain with the facts. आप इंटीग्रेट कर पाते हो चीज़ों को, आप साइंटिफिकली अवेल कर पाते हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल फॉरेंसिक में डीएनए फॉरेंसिक, you cannot deny the blood sample and the DNA match, it is not of the accused if it matches. So forensics can enhance your conviction rate. So forensics is very very necessary in a new criminal law. There is an immense focus on forensics and digital evidences, electronic evidences. So it will definitely enhance the conviction rate, enhance the investigation and assist us in investigating and putting behind the bars the culprits who are there. So it is very important and very essential for the police and the investigating team to follow it.
Okay. So like coming to cyber security or cyber fraud jurisdiction, this has become a major challenge for many of the citizens like me or anybody else around me. I've seen many instances also. Now let's take this scenario where someone in Maharashtra scams a person in Delhi using the server of Bangalore. The internet server in Bangalore that is located in Bangalore or some other part of the country or international. So now the citizen who has been affected with the cyber crime, whom should they approach? And does cybercrime have any jurisdictional limitation?
Cybercrime has no jurisdictional limitation. Cybercrime is without any territory or without any limitation or boundaries. It's a vast field. So any victim who has been frauded by cyber fraud, he can complain anywhere in India. Now any case can be not just cyber crime. In fact, in the new criminal law, zero FIR is there, even EFIR is there. You can place the FIR by sitting at your home, anywhere, any place in India. And in cyber crimes, India has released a helpline 1930.
Okay.
I repeat, cyber helpline 1930. You just
please note this.
Yeah, cyber helpline is 1930. Everybody should remember this cyber helpline. So as soon as you get defrauded by a cyber scamster, you can give your response to 1930. They will ask basic information. What was the mode of your fraud, how it happened, what amount is there, the bank details, the transaction details they will sponsor. And as soon as you file a complaint in 1930 and you follow the procedure, the account in which you've given the money, the account gets blocked.
Okay.
So it's very important for the citizens and the people to remember, as soon as you inform 1930, so you should not waste any moment and any time before registering complaint in 1930. You don't need to go to any police station. You don't need to go to anyone or for reach out to help. Just dial 1930. Your complaint will be registered and the account will be freezed. And how much amount is remaining in the account, that would be refunded back to you once the investigation is completed. So that is the very important aspect the people should know.
So what proof and documentation does the victim need to carry to the police station to register a cyber complaint, and so that police can act fast?
They can register cyber complaint without any thing. They just need to say this fraud has happened, and the evidences they should protect is the bank statements, the transactions, the phone numbers or the medium through which the fraudster has approached them, even through a link or to any application, APK file, or through video calls or through Telegram calls, Instagram calls, any way of medium the fraudster has contacted them. They should tell us the number details, the IP address we would be tracing and everything, the bank details, they should tell us the transaction and everything, so that we can assist them, help them, and we can cooperate with the banks and other stakeholders so that the money trail can be traced. And where the final amount is there, we should freeze it, and as soon as the investigation is completed on the final stage, we can refund it back to the victim.
So many a times, because of proper lack of awareness, people are only apprehensive. Okay, probably if I go to the police, so much of documentation, evidence, and all those information they will ask, probably they might not be comfortable to share, or they might think that it will be a very cumbersome process. But going by what you're saying, it can be just done through a phone call or through the internet. You can
just the basic information is needed. Nothing is needed.
The police will do their
police
task.
will do. But the more details and the more information you will provide about the fraudster,
simplify the process.
Suppose the fraudster has talked to you with 2 or 3 different numbers, and you tell just one number to the police. If you tell all the numbers, it would help us to gather the chain of custody and gather the vast diversity of the crime which is happening. So the more information you share, it is more beneficial for you only to assist the police and help the victim.
So they should also be very vigilant. Citizens should also be pretty vigilant and also share it with the police.
Yeah.
So another phenomena, many a times, they say like, I have lost only 5,000 rupees from my wallet. तो ये भी होता है कि 5,000 ही है. Will the police even care about the cybercrime? Will they even consider it as a fraud or a crime? So they will not report it to the police or not lodge a police complaint. After a point of time, there's a higher amount that they will lose out on. So many crimes are not reported. For them, what is your guidance?
My take on this is also, even if it is a 500 का fraud है या 5,000 या 50 lakh का fraud है, you should report. And we police, we take each and every case on the face value. We register it because for us, pattern is more important rather than the amount. Because that pattern कि ये fraud हो रहा है, this number or this location is being using for the victims, or this idea is being used by the perpetrators to catch the victims. For example, OTP fraud, insurance fraud, links they say, invites they say. That pattern becomes important for us because the modus operandi the criminal may be using different. So initially he tries for a smaller amount.
Exactly. It's like phishing.
Yeah. So you should report, and we take it seriously. We register each and every complaint, and our teams work diligently for tracing those crimes. And as I said, if the amount is any one of the accounts, we get freeze it, and even at 500 rupees or 50,000 rupees, once the account is freezed, our procedural work is done, the amount will be refunded to the victim. So your amount will be refunded to you. So you should register a case and don't feel ashamed कि यार मेरे साथ हो गया, what the society will judge कि you are not aware or you are not think. You should not be ashamed of those things. You should be aware, you should report and get those criminals being arrested by assisting the police.
What is the best time frame to report the crime?
As soon as possible. See, the fraudster captures your fear, your urgency of need, urgency of money. They capitalize on those things.
True.
And then you realize after a moment कि this is a scam. So as soon as you realize, people think कि अब मेरे साथ fraud हो गया, I have given lakh, 2 lakh rupees, now the person is demanding more. Yes. Now they talk with him, negotiate, and they waste time being regretting यार कैसे हो गया, whom to tell, they don't even tell their families and friends. They lose a precious time. As soon as you realize, just dial 1930 as said earlier, or contact to the local police station, share all the information and details because time is money here. Golden hour, first when you realize transaction has happened, within 24 hours if you can do, it is very well appreciated because we can coordinate with the banks and the transaction will be stopped. And as soon as you realize the fraud has happened, even in the 1 hour, 2 hours, the early you respond, the more beneficial you are, the more recovery chances are there for your amount. It is always advisable as soon as you realize something is fishy or I have been scammed, don't fear, don't be ashamed, just approach the police and they will be help you to guide you.
So many a times it's like within 24 to 48 hours if you report, you have higher chances of assisting the police, and we can actually,
because ultimately the system is your amount gets debited from you and it gets changed into different accounts, mule accounts. So it carries a chain is
cryptocurrency also.
So as soon as we block it from transmission, the higher chances, if it gets transmitted to multiple of accounts, then the traceability gets reduced. As soon as you feel you have been scammed, you should report to the police.
I think this information will actually prevent many of the people from falling victims actually. So another phenomena, it's not just the illiterate or people who are not digitally literate that they fall victim to this cybercrime. Data also suggests that many a times that is the educated, the doctors, the youngsters, bureaucrats, these people also are victims of cybercrime. Why does this phenomena happen? And many times it is not reported out of shame. Right? Why do you think even educated are falling prey to this cybercrime?
The main issue is what scammers try to capture is a sense of fear and urgency. Because as I said, so much of data about each and every individual is available. For example, like as an example, what we do for of our parcel wrappers which we come from Flipkart, Amazon, we just throw it away.
Yes.
Your whole phone number, your address, each and every detail is there on the wrapper. What do? You just throw away, right? Uska kya ho raha hai piche, you don't think of it.
You're just throwing it in the garbage. Somebody might pick up.
It's a data. Data is very important aspect.
Address है, phone number है, नाम है, gender है, सब कुछ है.
सब कुछ है. And the most important thing, everybody asks for Aadhaar, you just give your Aadhaar card. Why? Is Aadhaar the only identity card which you have? Why to give it each and every place? Why to give it for each and every advertisement? You can give any other document. Driving license works fine. It's also identity card. Why to give an Aadhaar card? Because Aadhaar card, each and every data of yours is linked with Aadhaar card. So releasing your data through Aadhaar becomes very risky for you. So these kinds of...
I've also seen some of the reports on the dark web.
Yeah.
Aadhaar profile, your complete details are being sold for 100 rupees per profile.
Data is very cheap and very costly at the same time also.
And once you have Aadhaar, you have the biometrics with them. You have all the details whatsoever.
Everything is exposed.
And everything can be hacked. Your email, anything. The line of hacking is going to become very easy.
So the way people are getting trapped by the scammers, the educated one, is because so much of data is available, you are not aware. The fraudster speaks to you in such a way and tells you all the information. He can even tell you your ATM pin. You feel, really ही होगा. He can tell you, 2 days back, my father got a phone call. He was just being about, फंस गए थे, वो हो गया था, बस ATM पिन डालना था, पिन के पहले वो बच गए.
अच्छा.
So fraudster कॉल की इलेक्ट्रिसिटी डिपार्टमेंट से हम बोल रहे हैं और आपका ये रिफंड के लिए कुछ प्रोसेस है. And my father being all aware, all smart, everything, but somehow
so we tend to get carried away.
Yeah, carried away. They are so genuine. They tell the meter number, the meter मेरी दादी के नाम से, तो उन्होंने वो भी बता दिया, सब कुछ बता दिया कि ये चीजें डिटेल्स हैं कि आपको ये चीज करना है. My father installed an app. The way he used to tell, my father used to follow all the procedure. And at the end he said कि सर आपका रिफंड आ गया है, आप फोन पे में खोल के देख लीजिए. My father even opened the phone pay, but it asked for PIN. Luckily, so then my father got कि यार ये तो पिन मांग रहा है. So then he said कि मैं थोड़ी आपका फोन देख रहा हूँ. So then my father instinct arises कि यार ये तो कुछ गड़बड़ है. Then he realized and he didn't press it and they entered it. So cybercrime is happening in a many different ways you cannot even realize. Even the smartest of the person can be victim of it. So you need to be aware. You need to follow cyber hygiene. You need to be sensible and aware. Don't share any information because frauds. आपको पता है OTP fraud होता है. आप OTP नहीं दोगे. But they are not following those trends. ना, they are age-old traditions.
They're very
advanced versions. So you cannot even think of it. How
कॉल करके पूछने का ज़माना पार चुका है.
AI, machine learning, digital arrest, so many forms of crimes are happening. They are more smarter than us.
So many apps that we are downloading is taking data. Ultimately, every form of data. You download an app, they'll ask you access to your gallery, to your email, and these days even through SMS, email. So
every information is going. So that's how your privacy protection, you should be aware of your data, where your data is going. So that's how you should be there. people feel it's a trend to update your lifestyle on social media. Insta post नहीं आया तो आज मेरा दिन complete नहीं हुआ. That should not be the case. You never know through your Insta profiling. You can analyze the people's behavior. You can predict the activities. You can predict the person's behavior, activity. Everything can be monitored, analyzed, and can be used against you by the fraudster.
Even your family could be put at risk.
Yeah.
Many times we see, people flaunting the pictures of their kids, their vacations, etc. And this person who's waiting to attack you, knows where you are, and then they can actually trace your activities and get the things done according to them.
So cyber hygiene is the thing people should be aware, and it's our duty to make people aware and follow the rules of cyber hygiene so that they can protect themselves, because prevention is better than cure, as it is always said. It's the duty of the police and the people so that you are first hand prevented from being the victim of cybercrime. If you happen to be a victim, then we are there to help you. But first of all, it is your own duty to protect yourself. So that's how you should be willingly follow cyber hygiene, follow the digital awareness programs, be self-aware. You should be smart enough. Don't share any information to anybody except your close ones, your close family, anything. Never click on any link. Be anybody कि आपका बिजली का कनेक्शन कट जाएगा, आपका ये कैंसिल हो जाएगा, वो कैंसिल हो जाएगा, आपका कुछ भी हो जाएगा. डोंट ट्रस्ट एनीबडी. लॉ इज देयर. लॉ डोंट आपके फियर्स पे और आपके इंस्टिंक्ट पे लॉ वर्क नहीं करता है. स्कैमर्स वर्क करते हैं. लॉ का प्रोसीजर होता है. लॉ वर्क्स ऑन प्रोसीजर्स एंड इट इज अ ड्यूली स्ट्रक्चर्ड प्रोसीजर. सो यू शुड फॉलो इट and trust the process.
But one small issue and concern over here, even like I have this major concern. When you download any app, so much of information is asked. Your Gmail server is not in India, right? Meta servers are not in India. And so much of information is being taken on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis, right? And many of the apps we cannot do away with. वो तो daily necessity बन गया, right? You download any kind of food delivery app, they will take all your information. You download any shopping app, they will take all your information. What should a citizen do? Average citizen like me do?
See, yeah, it is an issue because everyone wants information because data is the new oil. आप जानोगे नहीं, our phone is kept here, we are discussing something.
It is also being.
Next time you see that advertisement in Instagram. Next time.
Big data.
Big data. You cannot realize that ये तो हमने बात किया था, and algorithm हमको ad दिखा रहा है. Because everything is being
Even our voice is being.
Yeah.
It is being taken.
Yeah,
voice.
So definitely. So your data is very much available to you. So इसलिए मैं कहता हूँ कि everyone should follow your financial aspect of digital era should be different than your routine aspects. You should always have 2 phone numbers. Okay. The number linked to your banking system should be different from the number you are using day-to-day activities. You're giving it to anybody, giving it to any restaurant or anything. Your emails, you should have a different email. Advertisement वाला email different होना चाहिए आपका. जो official purpose के लिए, authentic purpose के लिए होना चाहिए. You should have a separate email.
अच्छा.
या आपके old emails वगैरह जो है आपने सब जगह दिया होगा. पता नहीं किस किस जगह है, कितना leak हो चुका है, कहाँ गया है. तो for your financial ecosystem, you should have a separate thing. Because उससे क्या होगा, आप जो डेटा लीक हो रहा है आपका, वो जो प्रोमिनेंट डेटा जो आप यूज़ कर रहे हो वो लीक हो रहा है. अगर आपका एक सिक्योर्ड नंबर है जो आपका बैंकिंग सिस्टम से अटैच्ड है, सो देयर आर लेस चांसेस ऑफ साइबर विक्टिम, साइबर फ्रॉडस्टर अटैकिंग दो नंबर्स. और आपका OTP एंड जो भी चीज़ आएगा आपका ई वाले नंबर्स पे सारे प्लेटफॉर्म का आएगा. तो वो नंबर आपका सिर्फ फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट के लिए होना चाहिए. सो उससे आप बहुत हद तक प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हो अपने आप को फ्रॉम बीइंग अटैक्ड.
To an extent we can limit the exposure.
Yeah. So that is very much helpful and I follow it, and it should be a norm. Dhire people will follow it, because keeping you cannot limit because all your money is in your bank accounts only. Nobody carries cash.
Yes.
Okay. So you need to be vigilant and aware how to protect your thing, because it's just a matter of few minutes and seconds that whole money can be wiped out. So once wiped out, police is there to help you, assist you, but that economical and that emotional pain and suffering which you will suffer is tremendous. So you should be smart
Sometimes
enough.
It is also very difficult to trace.
Yeah.
They have very advanced also. The fraudsters have become too advanced.
True. So they are growing because it's easy now. They just need to pick one new trend or one new thing, soft target. So much of digital illiteracy is there in our country, digital divide is there in our country, so much of social inequality is there. Everybody wants money, everybody wants to that rush of being economically upliftment. So they catch on it. Everyone wants, every student wants money. सबको पैसा चाहिए. They fear you कि सर ऐसा कर लो ऐसा होगा, ये रिफंड आ रहा है, ये पैसा आ रहा है. They catch all your weakest points and nerves. That's how you should be self-aware. You should know what to do. There is no free lunches in this world. Okay, nobody gives you anything for free. Nobody will give you anything. So you should be vigilant. You should be aware. Nobody will give you 25% returns on anything. The investment scams, they are the biggest fraud. Just for the run of money, people invest blindly and they invest even crores of rupees, and then when they want to take out the money, they realize it's a fraud.
Yeah.
And nobody will give you so much of high returns. It's not financially viable also. So वो smartness और वो awareness आपकी होनी चाहिए.
How do you assess that investment, whatever is being suggested, is a fraud? Any kind of red flags that you can
The red flags is firstly the above average return you should be aware. Plus minus 2-3% is there. 15% is there. Somebody is claiming 25%, 30% returns in 2 years, 3 years. 2 साल में पैसा double. It just happens in dialogues and filmy movies, not in reality. So first red flag is those things. Okay. And secondly, don't get swayed away because they give you early returns. आप invest करोगे initially, you will get returns to gain your confidence.
50,000 लगा है, some returns they'll
1 लाख करके देंगे वो. जब आप 10 लाख लगा दोगे, then you will take away with your money.
नहीं, वो भी उसका गेम लॉन्ग टर्म गेम प्लान में है.
बिल्कुल. So वो आपको रियलाइज करना पड़ेगा. आपको easy वे में नहीं जाना. There is no easy way to make money. So आपको उसमें नहीं जाना. You should be vigilantly aware and periodically checks आप रखिए, periodically withdraw करते रहिए. तो initial amount में आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि वो fraudster है या कैसा है. And you try to communicate with them, interact with them as much as you can, because they cannot fake themselves for too long. So something from the conversation you can pull out. You ask कि हमको return चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. Somewhere they will confuse you and take you to a different part. So that's where you can realize and you can come out of those things.
That's certainly some food for thought actually. The 2-number suggestion that you have given. So maintaining 2 numbers, one for the social profile, one for the banking, and also this thing, the communication.
Yeah.
I think that actually makes us aware, makes us decode the other person. I think it's the human trait.
Because it's a human trait. Sometime he will say something or make a mistake that you can aware.
Exactly, like how your dad has, when they said that photo thodi na dekh rahe aapka. True. Amazing. Like you've spoken about investment scams, right? There's another thing called job scam and what you call as dating scams. What are the red flags to identify? Because many of the youngsters are victims of this. Majority of the youth of this country, knowingly or unknowingly, are now a victim of job scam and dating scam. And their lives are getting ruined.
True.
It's not just a momentary losing some thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees. Now, some people are also victimized to such an extent that they are also committing some extreme acts because of the social trauma that they are undergoing, or that what you call self-frustrating behaviors. So how do you, what do you think are the red flags to identify?
For job scam, so much of unemployment is there. The youth is getting no employment. So main thing is you should always verify. You should always have 2-3 levels of checks by yourself. You should always go to their platforms. You should interact. Don't just be quick enough to trust them on the face value. You should not trust anybody at the face value.
But so, see, like everybody is usually cautious. But जो है नौकरी का requirement है. Or people are meeting. These days they have become so sophisticated that they meet you in cafeterias, they meet you they have some makeshift office. Now your co-working spaces are also available.
Yeah.
So some makeshift office is there. So people will come see, okay, office setup hai, ya itna bada, they also display a lot of professional etiquettes and etc. And after a point of time, they say that, okay, this is the higher process. For that process, you need to pay a certain amount. And that also they're not taking in lump sum. Monthly so and so amount is for training. Monthly so and so amount is for, to get a higher pay job. So this is how things are operating. What do you?
So for this, you should be everything आपको documentation इसमें भी करना पड़ेगा. अगर कोई आपको formal employment दे रहा है, so without on verbal way you cannot trust anybody. On verbal communication किया, you are employed or you this, you give this. So firstly you should see a contract. First thing you should see something documented of that organization is there or not. You should be very vigilant to do background checks. You meet, you verify. You try to contact one or two customers or the people or hosts who are there. You try to search it on the internet, because if it is a fraud company or fraudster, someone must have also have complained about it, or कोई victim और भी रहा होगा, तो उसका कुछ information आपको मिलेगा. आपको extra effort डालना पड़ेगा. But yes, it is very difficult to
especially this multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
Very difficult to catch hold of.
You cannot catch
and
hold
many
of.
youngsters, I have also seen some people around me, their lives were shattered.
True.
Families were shattered, lives were shattered.
That's the
3-4 years they're suffering and they're unable to come out of that misery.
Yeah, it's a black
pushed
hole.
into poverty. They're like, मदर का ज्वेलरी सब बेच के वो जॉब के होप में जा रहा और उसके पूरा खलास. एंड दे आर फॉलिंग इनटू दैट साइकिल एंड दे आर स्टिल रिकवरिंग द अमाउंट.
तो इट्स अ ब्लैक होल. आप चलेगा, लगता है कि यार ठीक है इधर थोड़ा निकाल लेंगे, थोड़ा चले जाएंगे और dwell deep and it's a complete trap. Yeah, it's a sad reality.
True. And what about this dating scams?
Yeah, dating scams are a new scams for Gen Z generation. Yes. So इसमें भी the main thing is you should not be very proactively or very active in this approach. ठीक है, dating scams are there. These are no high scale, highly unreported or underreported. Nobody reports these scams due to that shame aspect. So it has been working on the very large scale. So you should be aware, you should be vigilant, you should be आपको खुद पे स्मार्ट वर्क प्ले करना पड़ेगा. यू कैन नॉट ट्रस्ट, मतलब ऑल दीज स्कैम्स, ऑल दीज डेटिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स एंड सोशल मीडिया आर डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स. यू कैन नॉट ट्रस्ट एनीबडी. So you should not go all in, you should not invest so much, you should not, it's your self control. You should not go for any lavish parties or lavish clubbing or lavish restaurant ki some girl or some boy have called me. You go and then you get forced. There are different mechanisms of all these scams.
They're like traps only.
So the important thing which you can do is slow down the process. As you slow down, if someone is real, he or she will be there.
Yes.
So as you slow down gradually, because they will lose patience. They don't have time to invest so much on you. They have 100 other people to be fishy. So if you slow down, then the person will definitely, yeah, ठीक है, दूसरा try करते हैं.
True.
So the moment you are in a haste, you are in a hurry, and you
online
show, you show impatience. Yeah, so that is the biggest step. So it should be in your control how you pace it, how you keep it, and how you proceed with it.
Rightly said. This information citizens should be aware and try to get some takeaways from the discussion over here. So recently I've seen an investigation that revealed that scammers, almost 70% of their work depends on AI. Deepfake videos, voice cloning, auto-generated phishing emails. So when you are investigating a case, how do you even know you're dealing with an AI created asset or a real person? From the police viewpoint, how do you tackle this challenge?
The new phenomenon of digital arrest we came around a few time back. So it's all AI generated content, that phenomena, that aura, and the people, all the documents, even your income tax certificates, everything is fraud documents, AI generated, because your information is very much available, your signature, everything they can give you on it like a first copy. So it's very difficult to differentiate and everything. But from the policing aspect, we have different tools and agencies and different parameters where we can differentiate the actual content with the fake content. Because AI is not only available to the criminals also, it is available to the police also. So they use constructive use of AI, we do constructive use of AI. So there are multiple apps or multiple tools to recognize and differentiate the fake version with the new version of the deep fake. There are different voice cloning, voice overlapping, image overlapping, deep fakes. So we have sufficient tools in our repository to identify and detect it. But yeah, common citizen is very difficult to do it. So when it comes to the police gather all the information, all those things, and try to capture as much chain of custody, as much evidences they are available, and put them through all these tools to extract the reality and the originality of the case and the documents, and then proceed with the process of law.
So, which is the most difficult AI generated asset to decode from the policing perspective? Is it the voice, text, or video?
Videos are most difficult. Voice and text
Voice
can
is
be
more
easily.
difficult, right?
Voice can be easily, but you should have. It depends on the quality of the fraudster also. Sometimes they just mismatch and overlap and things. It's easy to calculate. But who is a very smart or a kingpin, they use different advanced version of technology. So it becomes difficult also. So it's very difficult to place on a degree. It depends on the quality of the things which have been defrauded by the fraudster. Be it voice, sometimes voice is easy, video is typical, sometimes videos are easy. So it depends on the quality of it.
So sophisticated nature of criminals,
crimes is
we have
increasing.
to deal with. Yeah, coming to the digital arrest. So there's one small data over here. Like in 11 months, reported in 2024, 90,000 digital arrest scams were reported with almost, these are reported crimes. There are thousands of cases which are not reported. So 90,000 digital arrest scams in 1 year alone. And in that almost 2,100 crore amount of Indian citizens has been lost. This is what is reported. Okay. So many a times victims remain silent out of shame. So what makes the scam different from investment or job scams? Why does the arrest narrative work so well on educated people?
The basic locus standi of digital arrest is they work on your fears. They catch something of your weakness. Every person has their weaknesses. Okay, something get hold to them, some information gets to them, and they try to pick you on those informations. They try to capture you on those information. You become fear, you become panicked. दे से आपने कोरियर मंगाया था, उसमें ड्रग्स मिले हैं, आपका ये होगा, हम सोशल रेपुटेशन आपकी खराब कर देंगे, ये हो जाएगा, यू गेट अरेस्टेड, फलाना ठिकाना समथिंग. इन माई फैमिली साइबर फ्रॉस्टर कॉल्ड एंड सेड टू माई फादर कि आपका बेटे को हमने अरेस्ट किया है रेप के केस में फंसा. उस टाइम पे मैं घर पे था.
अच्छा,
ठीक है, मेरा छोटा भाई भी घर पे था. ये आईपीएस बनने के बाद का टाइम है, सिलेक्शन के बाद का.
तो आईपीएस
मैं
कोई
भी
फ्रॉड कर रहा हूं.
मैं भी घर पे हूँ, मेरा छोटा भाई भी घर पे है. छोटा भाई घर पे नहीं है, छोटा भाई बाहर कहीं गया था, क्रिकेट खेलने कहीं पे गया था. वी नो वेयर ही वाज. सो ही सेड, ही टोल्ड माय नेम. ठीक है, आपका बेटा जतिन जैन ये एंड इसको हम पुलिस स्टेशन लाए रेप केस में, ये है वो है, इसने ये किया है, 4 लोग के साथ हैं. और एक आवाज भी सुनाई उसने
आपका
कि हाँ कि पापा मेरे को पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया है, पापा मेरे को पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया, यहाँ पे प्लीज ऐसा ऐसा करो.
Oh my
ठीक
God.
है. सो ऑल दोस नैरेटिव इज क्रिएटेड एंड ही आस्क कि ठीक है ऐसा ऐसा हो रहा है, हाँ कि ऐसा वैसा हो रहा है एंड ठीक है इसको सजा हो जाएगी, ये है वो है, हमारे पास सारे एविडेंसेस हैं, आप आ जाइए. या फिर उसके बाद ऐसा बोला कि आप आ जाइए, समझ लेंगे जो भी होता है. फिर थोड़ी देर बाद कॉल बैक आया कि ठीक है ऐसा ऐसा है, 20,000 रुपये 25,000 रुपये आप कर दीजिए तो हम कर देंगे उसको. सो दिस इज द ग्रेविटी ऑफ द सिचुएशन कि फॉर अ कॉमन मैन, फॉर समवन इन द विलेज, सपोज आई एम नॉट इवन इन द हाउस, माई ब्रदर इज नॉट इन द हाउस, who knows to verify?
Exactly.
And for the person in the rural areas, in those areas, they get panicked. They do कि हाँ ठीक है मेरे बेटे को छोड़ दो. That's how the digital arrest and that's how the perception, fear, anxiety they look upon and that capture to create the victims. So that's how it is. So digital arrest में यही होता है कि वो they bound you to something limitations. You cannot talk to anybody. You feel ashamed. You have fear. You just follow what they do, what they ask, and they ask you more and more. And then at one time when it's pushed to your limit, then you realize कि अब तो बहुत हो गया boss. Then you come out of those things. So वही है, if you are aware, आपको समझ में आएगा, आप प्रोसेस को ट्रस्ट कीजिए ना, आप लॉ को ट्रस्ट कीजिए, आप पुलिस को ट्रस्ट कीजिए, आप सिस्टम्स को ट्रस्ट कीजिए. Nobody wearing a uniform would video call you and say you are digitally arrested or you cannot move or you cannot go.
So there is no government protocol.
No government protocol.
Citizens should understand, or people should understand, that no government officer whatsoever will try to approach you through a Skype video call or a Zoom call or
nobody
whatever
will call you. Nobody's thinking. पुलिस में तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं करेगा कोई भी.
Why do people fall trap to it? I've seen, like, you know, some ex-ministers or present ministers or somebody who's into an ex-bureaucrat or well-learned people. they are victims of cybercrime and they've lost crores of rupees. And they've actually relented, given crores of rupees. And when the amount was increasing, then they come out in the open. By the time they've already lost some lakhs of crores of rupees. So why does this happen? Why don't people go to the police station in the first place? Why don't they call the police?
Yeah, the main issue is the amount which is lost now. It is proportional to the amount of the information, the value of the information the scammer is having. Of the politicians, of the bureaucrats, of anything, you have so much of a dark secrets, which you feel is dark, which you don't want to come out with in the public, open. And that person, the scamster, has
knows that sensitivity.
He knows
the
it.
pain point.
Yeah. So that is the main issue, and that's how the fear element comes in. Because the value of that information is so much high, you trust it कि हाँ इसके पास ये है, अगर ये बाहर आ गई तो I am gone. So that's how you try to cover it up and reach to a level where you feel कि यार अब नहीं होगा. Then you come out and then you feel कि it's fraud. So वो element अब उसको कैसे आपको overcome करना है depends on you कि how much you trust, how much faith you have in the system. All those things play a role in it.
But ultimately you have to come out.
Yeah.
Ultimately you have to report.
Yeah.
There is no escape
other
from
escape.
it.
By yourself you cannot evade it. You just
That's what people need to realize.
Yeah.
So instead of hesitating, always approach the law enforcement agencies.
As soon as possible approach it. Yeah. Nobody will ask for your money digitally or ये और वो जो भी ideas चलते हैं. Don't trust anybody. Don't give money to anybody. Be very vigilant with your financial transactions. Very, very important.
But this is very good to hear. But from a victim's perspective, how can they differentiate between a spoof call or a real police call? Now, call तो आ रहा है, number भी police का number ही वो दिखाएगा. तो उस time पे how can I differentiate? Now I will be in a position that okay, let's say somebody has taken, like just now you have quoted an example, somebody has also done a deepfake of your own voice, called your father. Or in my case also, I've seen several instances where people call up stating that, my mom is in distress or she's admitted or some accident that they have met with. Now immediately for her to survive, transfer 50,000, will admit her to hospital or something like that. So in this scenario, whether it is a police or whether it is somebody calling, how do you identify what is fake, what is real?
See, when someone is calling, they must... The first step they do is build their credibility. I am so and so. They show their ID card, they show all their documents and everything. Okay, it's fine. But during the conversation, when you realize, the normal police or the original bureaucrats or the government servants, they don't want the personal information. They don't target the financial aspects. They don't target this and this. Even if you have committed a crime or an offense, our system gives you a chance to put your view forward.
True.
Put your facts, put your side of the story. Process is there. So nobody can bypass that process. Even if you have committed the crime, even if real police is calling or fake police is calling, you could say, okay, theek hai, I'll come to the police station or I'll go and I'll meet. Tell me what is the issue. Don't panic. Panic should be avoided.
Yes,
that's
where they play. Once you panic, uske haathon mein chale.
Because during panic, your sense of analyzing capability gets reduced. Emotions carry over you. So that is the stage which you should have control over it. And when there's emergency calls, ki isko admit karna, ye karna, always cross verify. Someone asks you for money, never do any transactions. Jiska bhi naam bola hai, just contact one or two persons, just call them. आप भले उसके नाम से कॉल आया होगा, just क्रॉस कॉल ना, खुद से कॉल कर लो एक बार, क्या होगा, मांग रहा होगा तो मांगेगा, फिर से कर देना. डोंट जस्ट इमीडिएटली ट्रांसफर. आप इमीडिएट रिस्पॉन्स रोकोगे, आपका आधे फाइनेंशियल लॉसेस और आधे साइबर क्राइम्स आपको रुक जाएंगे. आपको पेशेंस रखना है, प्रोसेस को स्लो करना है. जैसे मैंने बोला, दीज साइबर क्राइम्स वर्क ऑन स्पीड,
दैट इज द ओनली वेपन,
इंस्टेंटेनियसिटी. इफ यू स्लो द प्रोसेस, दे डोंट हैव द पेशेंस.
तो उधर वी हैव टू प्ले द
you have to play with it. You have to be calm, you have to be composed. Don't panic, don't react instantaneously. Act, don't react.
Act, don't react. Please note this. So like, what is the recovery rate when it comes to cyber crimes? Will people actually get their money back? मान लीजिए amount चले गए बैंक से. Based on your experience and exposure, will they get their money back?
Recovery rate is not around 100%. Not everybody gets the amount back. But as I said, as soon as possible, as quick as possible you report to the police, the higher chances of recovery is there. Because as soon as the amount gets freezed, we can recover it. Because ultimately it gets distributed to thousands of mules account and in small chunks. When in large chunks it gets transmuted, you can
it is easy to trace.
Suppose 1 lakh rupees is there, वो 100 रुपीज के ट्रांजेक्शन एंड में हो जाएंगे सारे. अब वो आप कहाँ से गैदर करके कहाँ से ला पाओगे? बट एट फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड लेयर इट इज 50,000, 25,000, 40,000. वहाँ पे इफ यू रिपोर्ट एंड वी होल्ड ऑन फ्रीज इट, देन द चंक अमाउंट गेट्स रिफंडेड. अदरवाइज इट्स अ लॉन्ग प्रोसेस to capture the accused and then do recovery from him, and then so it gets probability gets reduced.
Another phenomena that we have seen, 97% of the cybercrime victims are usually people in emotional distress, more specifically women and elderly people, old age people. So is it something like they do some profiling of the individuals? Is it deliberate profiling or deliberate targeting, or accidentally these people are falling victim to this crimes?
Some profiling is always done because they have the information, so they know what are your backgrounds, what are your profiles and what are your details. They know what are your economic status, what are your economic conditions, and they play all on your vulnerabilities. Your vulnerability is exposed to them through all your data which is being available in the social media or the digital era. So they play on that. Yeah, women and elderly students, college students, they are the major chunk of these scams.
Many times the sextortion cases also.
Yeah.
AI generated deepfake videos are created, like intimate videos of some private videos are created, and people are threatened that will be put in public light, though this person has not actually committed such kind of things. The victim is playing into their hands, and many a times even the parents or the peers or relatives, they're not supportive, or with the fear that they will not be supportive, they're succumbing to the whims and fancies of the fraudsters.
Yeah, there are many cases. During my field experiences, some people came to me. Nothing happened, just a video call came to them on a WhatsApp. A nude or semi-nude person was there, and it's all recorded.
Yes.
Just even if you see and then cut it, 2 or 3 seconds, they get a clip. And now they send you and they blackmail you ki you are, nobody will trust now.
Yes.
Who is going to verify it? And through that shame and that thing, they ask money and the people give it. So all these things are happening. So it's very difficult era to capitalize and identify. You just have to be vigilant. You just have to be aware. एंड ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस. स्मार्ट वर्क मतलब आपको करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा सा एनालिसिस. आपको मतलब योर प्रोटेक्शन इज इन योर हैंड्स फर्स्ट, देन द पुलिस एंड द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. So you have to play your active role in participation. There are soft targets. The soft profiling is done by them because उनके पास data है, वो target करते हैं. But as I said कि even I am being approached by them, so there is no anything profiling कि बस इनको target करना है. They just your identity for them is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. They just have to meet the targets. आज 100 कॉल करने हैं, 5 ही फंस गए तो उनका काम बन गया.
हाँ.
They just have to check 2 or 3% success rate for them is sufficient. दिन भर ये काम करना है उनको. So that's how you have to be smart so that you don't fall in that 2 or 3% category of the fraudster.
How do elderly people protect themselves? Are there any legal measures, or elderly people, when they lose their money through cyber fraud, is it also considered as a liability from the government perspective? Do they have any special protections first?
No, for the government of India, cyber fraud is cyber fraud. Either it happened to a child, to an elderly, or to a woman, or to any person for that matter. We work on the fundamentals of cybercrime. The amount debited, our thing is economic loss. Or the emotional loss the person has suffered. So we work on that principle. No special provision is there for them. But they report as soon as possible, and we try to support and push extra efforts for them so that because most elderly people, the amount of fraud is high because all their lifetime savings which get frauded by the scamster. So the amount gets high, and that's how we work on it. No special provision or special catering is done to them.
The final question on cybercrime, loan app scams. Okay, they target desperate youth. Initially, they offer that you download our app, we'll give you so and so amount. Let's say 5,000 amount or 1,000 rupees amount you get. Later, they're harassed. Their photos are taken. Their access. Once you download the app, you have access to the contacts, photos, etc. and then their images are morphed, videos are made, and then they're harassed. And this harassment will become a vicious cycle because now they can't tell their parents. They're afraid. Sometimes when they tell their parents also react in a harsh manner. With that fear also, these things are perpetuating. Especially we have seen the impact of the Chinese loan app scams. So what is your guidance to the youngsters on this?
See, as I said, there are no free lunches, no. So the more ease of availability they provide, कि आप लोन ले लीजिए without any documents, without anything, instantaneous loan of 5 lakhs, 50,000. That factor, that lucrative element which is present, you have to catch hold of it. You don't have to swayed away by it. First thing is that, and even if you approach it and if you take it, they give you very less interest rate, कि कम interest पे आप लोन ले लीजिए, ये ले लीजिए, and they try to play with your psychology. It's all psychological mind games with this fraudster play with our youth and the other people which get victims of cyber fraud. So you have to be vigilant enough, because everybody is in need of money. Everybody wants to live a lavish lifestyle, a good lifestyle. They want to pursue for their education aspect, or multiple aspects they must have having. So आपको पता होना चाहिए आप कहाँ जा रहे हो, कैसा इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो. There is no one-stop solution for these things because every person's psychology and different. The distress the person might be going through, we don't know in what situation, what capacity he made that decision to become a victim of it. So उनको यही है कि आप aware होएं थोड़ा सा, आप अपना information आराम से share कीजिए. Don't be too open to anybody, and just be cautious. Something is being offered to you free, or something is being offered to you in a lucrative manner. Be always double cautious. Always double think on the aspects of these things so that you can be protected from the scamming if some time that happen. Otherwise, no one stop solution or no particular कि आप ये कर लीजिए, रामबाण नहीं है कि ये कर लीजिए तब बच जाएंगे. Initial की आपके हाथ में ही है वो.
I'm sure this conversation and your insights will definitely make many people aware about how cybercrimes operate, and at least they'll be more cautious now, more vigilant and cautious now. In the end, can you tell 3 important guidelines to follow to prevent themselves from cybercrime? हिंदी में बोल दीजिए.
The first 3 important guidelines मैं कहूँगा. The first thing is follow our dedicated cyber hygiene. जैसा मैंने बताया, आप 2 नंबर्स फॉलो कर सकते हैं अपने फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट के लिए और अपने डे टू डे यूज़ के लिए. साइबर हाइजीन इज़ वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट. डोंट क्लिक ऑन एनी links or any provide apps. Don't download apps from unauthenticated sources. So cyber hygiene आप definitely follow कीजिए. Second thing is be cautious about your data. What data you are sharing, where you are sharing. Be aware, be responsible. Don't just give your data, as I said, don't give your Aadhaar card to anybody. आजकल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज ऑल्सो लॉन्च्ड मास्क आधार कार्ड, ताकि आपका पूरा आधार डिटेल्स ना जाए. इट ऑल्सो वर्क्स एज आइडेंटिटी प्रूफ. सो बी अवेयर, follow the government rules and guidelines because government is there to protect you. Police is there to protect you. And third thing which I would say is, if any of you get scammed, don't feel ashamed. As soon as possible, dial 1930. I repeat, dial 1930. Cyber security number है all India का. Your complaint get registered and it has higher chances and high probability of your money, of your hard-earned money to get you back.
Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I'm sure this will be a source of inspiration and fact-checking. More importantly, people should do self-analysis, introspect with themselves. I'm sure any average youngster out there or any aspirant preparing for civil services or any competitive exam or any job per se, they will have a lot of learnings from the conversation and insights that you have shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.